Didn't really mean for this to be a flapping video, but I think that's what it turned into. Hi, evening YouTube, here with you on a Monday evening, 8:41 in the evening. I have some things to show you. This is my my kilowatt holder so far. It is obviously not done. I have ways to go with it, but it's off to a good start. Now I have to cut off that bottom piece there, right there. I've got it started to cut, but I haven't got it finished to cut. So it's kind of a tedious thing to do with the razor knife. It's kind of takes a little while to do because it's, you know, not very stable. There's not a lot of glue holding those two pieces there together. So I'm just sort of taking it easy and getting it the way I want it to do. Once I get that cut, and like I said, this will fit in here like this, and this will allow it to tilt back on this axis here or whatever. And I will put a piece in the back here, basically across here, to add some this way stability, and so that will help that a lot. I tried to get this cord straightened out a little bit where it would stay better, but it has a mind of its own. So anywho, that's just what I've got so far. This is not the prettiest thing, as you can tell, but it's functional, and that's, you know, my criteria for this stuff. Oh, I just dropped a piece of that precious cardboard. Can't have that. No, I'll just pick up a flat piece of cardboard on a platform. Robert Gibbons, Bob, you all know Bob, sent these in the mail today. Well, he didn't send them today, he sent them the other day, but they arrived today. So there you go. This is for our, forgot which project it is for. It's for the Heath Kit IG-18, I think. Pretty sure that was what it's for. Anyway, 1K6. I'm not a big fan of the new way of naming the resistors. I mean, 1600, okay, fine. 1.6K, that's fine. 1K6, it makes no sense to me. It's just like a 1R6 or whatever the other one is. 1K1. Now, I understand Bob uses that because he's used to it probably, that's fine. And the other one was the 1K1. And that's got to be 1100 ohms. Ooh, that thing's got flattened in there. So anyway, those are here now. I have those in my, whatever you call these, malls. But anyway, those are here. So the other thing that arrived in the mail today is, yay, another wire. How do I know it's another wire? Because I have eyeballs. And it says right there, 22 AWG 3-meter purple cable cord. Now that's wire. Wire in this country, maybe cable cord in China, but it's wire here. So let's open it up and see. Now I figured out finally that this ID number here is the one they post on the website. So I can match these numbers up and mark them off, you know, get the feedback like I need to and stuff like that. So that's good. I've did that one, so don't have to worry about doing that again. There you go. There's another 22 gauge, which you know, can't never have too many, I guess. Especially all these different pretty colors. So I will put a tie wrap around that and have it join the others. I think I need me a bigger pegboard thing because that one's full and I have a lot more wire to go on there yet. So alright, that's that. Now you've seen my cardboard project, you've seen my mail items that I got in the mail today. You want to take a look at that. That's my tea. And it's heavenly. heavenly. Kylie was here. I picked her up from school today. There's my nervous tap, just for anybody that's wanting to hear that. I don't, she stayed till about 5:30 or so, and her sister picked her up. She will be here again tomorrow. I will be picking her up. She doesn't have to work either one of these days. Now, the days she has to work, I don't pick her up because I can't take her. My car has a, anybody that knows anything about tires, one of the, I think it's one of the back tires. I'm not really certain on that, but one of the belts is broken on it. And for driving around here, it's not too bad. I mean, if it did happen to go flat, you know, I'd be in a town, wouldn't be so bad. But I really don't want to take a chance on driving her at highway speeds, 20 miles there and 20 miles back to Columbus. So I've begged off on that shore for a while until I get my tires on the car. Really, what's hold up, I don't really want to buy 4 tires. Although Walmart has a pretty good deal on them, $39 a piece in my size on Douglas tires, which they had fairly good reviews that I've read. And so, you know, I could probably afford to do that this time, but I don't really want to if I don't have to, because there's two. When I got the car 6 years ago, 7 years ago, whatever it was, not too long after that, we went ahead and put 2 tires on it, and I had the front tires moved to the back because they were the best too, and then I put the new ones on the front, and that's what I was wanting to do this time. Buy two more, move the front ones to the back, and have those be the good ones. And I was hoping that was the ones that were good and the ones that didn't have the broken belt. I think it's one of the back ones. I'm not really sure, but I was driving out to a Thanksgiving dinner the other day, and I kind of noticed when I go around a curve to the right, and the right rear tire would kind of lift off, you know, more or less weight on it. I didn't feel the bump 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 so much, and then the opposite would happen when I went around the curve to the left, which would put the pressure on that tire. And plus, I couldn't feel it in the steering. I think if you had a broken belt, you would pretty easily feel that in the steering wheel. I mean, it wouldn't jerk necessarily, but you would feel the vibration of that broken belt. And I don't feel it in the steering wheel. So I feel pretty confident it's the right rear, passenger side rear tire. And that's my choice, my guess. How's that? And I need to get the oil change whenever I get this done at Walmart. And I need to buy some antifreeze, get the radiator flushed and filled. And I just really haven't done much at all. In the time I've had this car, I replaced the alternator, and that's really about all I've done. I didn't done much. I had a brand new battery when I bought the car. It was in my Monte Carlo, and I just took it out, put it in the Cavalier, and swapped the batteries. So I had a brand new battery in it when I got it. And of course, it's not brand new anymore, but it's still starting in fine. Like I said, I did replace the alternator. And of course I repaired the damage from the deer and things like that. But other than that, I really haven't done a lot to this car. There was another kind of a major thing I had done to it. When I first got it, it had say on the right front, passenger side front, had a leak, transmission fluid leak, and I took it to have it fixed. Turned out there was a bent axle, I think. Anyway, they fixed that, and that fixed that all up, and everything's been fine on that. So, like I said, that's really only a couple of things I had done to it. But I figure it's been a pretty good car. I'm happy with it. But I'm not an idiot. I know it's got to be maintained. I mean, you can't just drive a car forever and it lasts forever. That don't work. So. That's pretty much what I'm going to do, so I need to take a break here and see what Bob's got to say. Weather turned a little bit cooler today. I went to bed last night and it was 50-something degrees out. And during the day, I think the temperature has dropped. It's now 29, I think, something like that. It's in the 20s. Very windy. And the big blizzard, for the most part, has missed us. We had a little bit of snow, but it wasn't no blizzard, and it wasn't any kind of accumulation, just a little bit on the car. But that's about it for us, I think. I don't think we're going to get any more of that. So happy about that. Kylie was disappointed. Kylie, for some reason, likes snow, and I don't understand that completely. But, you know, she's a kid, so she's allowed, I guess. I'm going to be having her here in a few weeks. She'll be here for a couple of weeks, as a matter of fact, while my daughter's in Chicago getting her operation. And I do still request prayers for that, because it's not a, oh, what am I saying? It's not a serious, you know, it's not like a heart bypass or anything like that, but it's a serious operation. It's you know, so I want her to be good for that. So anywho, I don't think I have a flapping video in me. I watched Bill today. He was trying his best not to beat me. I'm gonna have to try one of those apple pies. It did look pretty good, Bill. May have to try that at our local, one of our local, I should say, McDonald's. Again, I don't know if I mentioned this. I think I did. We have a Popeyes going in. It's actually pretty much done, and I think they're doing interviews for help right now. Have that and a Freddy's. I keep wanting to say Friendly's because it looks just like what Friendly's used to look like. But I noticed it was pretty much done too when I picked up Kylie today. So that's good. The gas prices here have dropped significantly. I think they're dropping all over for some reason. Well, I don't know why, but they are, and I don't really question it. I just enjoy it. So got to fill my gas tank up. The gas light came on when I was picking up Kylie coming home from that, and I don't like to drive too far with the gas light on. You know, it's just one of those things. I just figure, you know, it's better to go ahead and get some gas. I mean, you're gonna have to get it anyway, right? It's not like your car is gonna run on fumes forever. It's kind of like the maintenance thing. It's not gonna run forever if you don't maintain it. I saw also in the news that Chevrolet's, or not Chevrolet, but GM is doing some major realignment, I should say, maybe, where they're going to stop making Impalas and Cruises and Volts, and I think that just kind of follows Ford's lead about they're not making passenger cars anymore. I'm not really sure what the fascination is with trucks, but apparently there is a fascination in this country with trucks. I don't see it myself. I'm not a truck person. If I had a truck, it would be used for truck purposes, and that would be hauling things and you know, work. It would not be to, you know, ride around. I don't care how nice they get it. They're not as nice as cars. I don't really care. They don't handle as well. They don't. There's nothing as good about a truck as is a car. So I'm sorry, all you truck lovers out there, but that's just the way I feel about it. And like I said, I've had trucks before in the past, and they were sit out in the backyard or whatever until I needed them. I didn't drive them daily. Anywho, that's just my feelings. You know, I don't want to start a big war over that. But I do notice that that's going to happen, and you know, I'm sure that's buying trends, and you can't really fault GM or Ford or whoever for changing their ways. You know, as far as a person like me, it really wouldn't afford me. I'm not going to be buying a new car anyway. But in the car market will stay the same. In fact, probably they'll go up on the used car market because that's all there is. So you know, I guess it will affect me if I have to buy another car. But like I said, it's just a change in times, I guess. I think people like the SUVs. Like sitting up high, like that feeling of power, I guess. I don't know. I'm just guessing because I never got that out of a truck. Like I said, I've driven trucks all my life, and but just never had that much love for them. Anyway, otherwise, let's see what else is going on that I can talk about, because I like to talk, and you guys may like to listen. I don't know, maybe not. I'm sitting here playing a little game over here on the side. You guys are not seeing it, but it's picking up the little rings that I drilled off of the switch yesterday when I drilled the rivets out, and putting them on these pegs on this. I'll show you. You can see the little rings I'm putting on there. Yeah, this is my life. Cardboard construction. 50 million projects that never ever get finished, and wire coming out the wazoo that cost me practically nothing. How much better could life get, right? Right. Anyway, like I said, that's about it. I was watching one of those compilation videos on winter driving, and I think the country, I'm pretty sure it was Russia, one of the Eastern Bloc type countries, because of the language and the wording of the signs and things like that I saw. But the whole gist of it was wintertime driving over there, and I tell you what, if I had to drive over there, I think I would probably just turn in my driver's license and either walk and that's not safe either. I was seeing a lot of people walking, and they were getting hit left and right too. So I don't know what it gets into those people over there, but their attitude is, you know, we're gonna go like hell and everyone else be damned. I guess that's the way they drive. It seems like, I don't know. But there was a contrast between people driving here. They had the videos of people driving over here. It was like a night and day, because the people over here, you know, would drive on the slick streets, but they would drive really, really slow. And, you know, of course, they were still sliding because it was icy. But, you know, these guys over in Russia or wherever, they were driving 60, 70 miles an hour on these highways, passing trucks. It was crazy. And it's just so funny because, you know, and I'm sure it wasn't funny to them. Ah, Lordy. As Marshall Cook used to say, wouldn't be for the fools, wouldn't be no fun. So that's what he used to say. That was a fun time. I have some things ordered, and also I got confirmation from FedEx today. In fact, just a few minutes ago, before I sit down here to make this video, that the Hallicrafters has shipped. I don't know why I wasn't thinking this way, but it was out there in California, and I thought, you know, well, surely it wouldn't get picked up today because of the time, but, you know, they're like 3 hours behind us, so that made a big difference. So it still gotten picked up. So anyway, it's supposed to be here Thursday. That's what they say. I have some things coming to make my my version. I won't say my version because I'm going to copy this as close as I can to Don's design. And in fact, he's supposed to get back with me. He said that he had some changes made to his, and I'm going to try to incorporate those as well. But I want to get as close as possible because I think his worked great, and I want one that works great too. So, you know, that's what I'm trying to do. That's Don over at Restore Old Radios, if you didn't know who I was talking about. And Bob, he's wanting he's got his built already. He's waiting on a picture. He wanted to see a picture of Don's bottom of the board, see how he had it laid out as far as the circuitry. And Don's supposed to send that along. He's a little bit busy. He's got some things going on, you know, people. He was, when I first contacted him, he was traveling, you know, during the holidays. So, anywho, they'll, when they get that, we'll have maybe an update on that too. Also got some audio jacks. I like the way his jack looked in his build. It had the clear window and little springs, and I thought, man, that looks cool. So I ordered some of those, and I also ordered the plain black ones, the same identical ones, and they just happened to be a local, I say local, it was Kentucky, seller that was selling them, and I've gotten things from this seller before, and they're always pretty good, so those are supposed to be coming. I was trying to think what else. I got magnet wire coming. I got the little this thing, only it's actually the same exact one that Don's got, the T50-43 ferrite core form, and I've got 3 of those coming. And like I said, the magnet wire, the exact same magnet wire down to the color. Bob was making fun of me because I got red, and they had this color here was actually 15 cents cheaper, but I wanted it to look just like Don's. So he was making fun of that. That's okay. I've been trying to work on some stuff to get. I kind of like when I buy a radio like that Hallicrafters. I kind of like to plan on doing things, and Bob was kind enough to send me some files, schematic, some other files about how to make them more safe. You know, things like that. And I kind of like to plan out. You know, and I noticed it was missing a knob, so I've been looking for a knob, found a knob for it, $10, not cheap. But and then there's of course the caps. I have already ordered the caps for it. There's a complete recapping kit sold by Hayseed. Is it Hayseed something? I can't remember. I'll try to get the name and put it in post. But I've ordered that. I think it was like $22 for the complete set, and that's including a 4-section electrolytic. I think it's 3 or 4 section electrolytic to replace the original, and so that will be coming. I have the decals, radio days. I haven't ordered those yet because I'm waiting on the seeing exactly how I'm going to fix the emblem on the front. There's a round emblem, black background with a white H, and now actually the H is in an outline type font, and that's like the logo for it, and it's in the center. It fits right in the center of the main dial there. And I asked Bob if that was a metal metal badge like or what, and he said yes, it is. So I've either got, what I've got to do is probably make that piece of metal, cut that out, and then get me a the Radio Days sells the decals for that, the size I think I need. And so I'll have to basically get the metal piece cut out, painted black with a outline of either bare metal or silver color around the edge, and then the white decal will go right in the middle of it. And I'm not sure how that attaches, but I think looking at the radio close-up of it, it looks like there's a small hole there with probably something that goes in between there and on the other side of the front, the face, with a holder of some kind in there. But also another thing I've been thinking about is the plastic dial face, dial glass, whatever you want to call it. It's a plastic, like a plexiglass, I guess is what it is. And I've got that, but I need a pattern on how to cut it out. I think it's got, the way I saw it, I think it's got like 3 different slots in it, to where when it fitted in there, it's got little metal tabs that bend over to hold the thing in there. I think that's how it works. I'm not really sure. It might have been on the restoration video that Radio Rescue did. I watched that. I think I've seen it somewhere, and I can't remember where I saw it. But that's I've got the plastic. I just need to find out how to cut it and where to put those holes and things like that. So once I find that out, then I can go ahead and make that. Just some of the things I like to do when I'm waiting on the radio to get here. I figure anything I can do, and I've been going back and forth with Bob on the. I would like myself to make this radio. Now this is a metal chassis and metal cabinet, I should say, radio. Now obviously, unless it's a hot chassis, it's a All-American 5 type radio. In fact, the switch itself goes just like a lot of the AA5 radios, goes right to the ground, and which is going to be changed also. But what I would like to do is get that completely isolated from that chassis, and basically instead of running the one side of that line to chassis, I'd like to run it to a bus wire going around the inside of the chassis on terminal strips, whatever, and have all of the connections that normally connect to the chassis connect to that wire. In other words, that would be the B- bus or whatever you want to call it, and that way it would keep the chassis and the radio cabinet itself completely off the line. I mean, there wouldn't be any more line voltage to worry about. So that's just my thoughts on that. I've heard of other people doing this. I know it's a little bit difficult, I guess, to do, but you know, for somebody that wants a nice, safe radio, I don't think it's that much of a chore myself. But anywho, that's just some of the things I'm thinking about. I'd be interested to hear anybody else that's tried this with an AA5 radio. But and I thought about the, you know, everybody says, well, I'll just use the polarized plug and make sure it goes to the chassis, and you know, that's fine. But that's not 100% foolproof. Now, if you have that chassis to where it doesn't connect to either side of that line, that's pretty much foolproof, in my book anyway. So thoughts on that, please, please. I'm welcoming anything on that, because I'm curious, because I think, you know, I would think more people would do that if it's not that difficult and it works. That's the main thing, obviously, that it works. The only thing I've thought about is, you know, that takes a large ground plane away from the radio itself. Now, when I say ground plane, it's not necessarily a ground plane if it's connected to the wrong side of the power line. But I mean, it is a common common bus or common ground plane, whatever you want to call it. But I guess that's, you know, some of the things you have to consider. I don't know, but I don't really think it matters as long as that's connected. I don't think that. I mean, the chassis is still going to be there. It's still going to be metal, and it's still going to be, you know, separating any kind of radio signals. It may not be grounded, but it's still there. I mean, you can have a, you know, if you try to take your signal through a piece of metal, it doesn't go through it, no matter if it's grounded or not. But anywho, that's just my thoughts on that. Oh, I could drink good tea all day. In fact, I have been drinking all day. What else is there? Let's see, we're at 28 minutes. Jeez, how did we get there? It won't be that way when you look at the video, because I've got some things I'm going to cut out of it. I know that for sure. One of the other things I'm thinking about this, now you can see how that sits. It doesn't sit very good. With the weight in it, it does. It sits pretty good then, but there we go. Sits nice there, but even then it could still probably tip. But anyway, like I said, when I put this back on it, I'm thinking about making the back come out to maybe on the things like this and on that, and maybe do that. That will help a little bit. Or now I've also thought about just taking, basically making this longer, you know, not necessarily this piece here, but have it maybe come out to this edge here and come down, you know, and cut this off straight across here, and it comes straight down, and then put my back on it there to make it this way. That's just some of the things I'm thinking about. I'm really taking a break from it right now because of, you know, I've got it basically together. I can go ahead and start tweaking it now, but I think if it had that on there to where it wouldn't go backwards and it wouldn't go sideways, I think it would be, you know, stable enough to move the plug around. Right now you can see it's gonna be moving around a little bit inside there, which, you know, that's not a big deal. But like I said, I don't, once I get it where I want it, I'm not gonna be moving it around anyway. Alright, well, it looks like I had the okay, I think the camera went off right in the middle of what I was doing, so I'm going to turn this back on and show you what I was doing. Put this up on 25 volts right there. Hook up our capacitor. Now this is a 600 volt capacitor. I don't know if you can see that. 600 volts DC. So we're going to put that on here, and we're going to plug the other one in here. So I have both ends hooked up now, and we're going to, this is 25 volts. I don't know how well you can see that, but Opens pretty easy on that one. Not the best, but not bad. It's a little slow. I'll go up to 150. Ooh, no good there at all. It's not even opening. So this thing is a bad capacitor. It's got bad leakage on it. So that's just one I wanted to show you. It wasn't nothing big fancy, but it does work, which is, you know, what I wanted it to do. So I thought I'd better show that, being as I had never done that. Let me get you back over here again. Oh, I never can remember this thing shuts off after 30 minutes. I think that's about it. I really can't think of anything else I had to say. Really. I've got other stuff coming and I can't remember for the life of me what all I ordered. But there were some things that, I did order a variable capacitor, one that like Don used, one of the old metal type. Now it's not quite got the range that his did. I think his went from 17 to 436, something like that. I think mine goes from 20 to 384 or something like that. But that's pretty much a standard one these days. So I don't know where he got his at. I tried to find one like that, but I could not find it anywhere. So anyway, that should work fine for what we're doing. You know, it's or it should. So we'll see. I'll have that coil wrapped the same exact way his is, and it should be close enough to be, you know what I'm saying, to his. And I also bought, I found a place in Texas, JPM Supply. I don't know if anybody's bought from them or not, but they seem to have fairly good prices, and you know, had pretty good selection for hobbyist type people. And so I thought I'd take a chance on them. It's already shipped, so you know, that should be here, so that will be good. And I bought the cores for the T50-43 toroidal cores, and I bought a switch, just a regular switch that can be used for that one. And I bought a 1 millihenry choke coil there. I already had these, and I think this is what Don used, basically the same thing. But I thought, well, you know, they had this one. It looked kind of spiffy looking. It was what they radial design. It was up and down, and it wasn't axial like these. So I thought I'd go ahead and order one. It wasn't much. So I got that coming, and I mainly just kind of wanted to get the cores, the ferrite cores for the coils. And that's really what all I was after. And then I got to looking around. I thought, well, this is neat. You know, I bought some other stuff. Now the variable capacitor I got is coming from Antique Electronics Supply out in Arizona. I've ordered from them before. They're pretty good. So that's where that's coming from. Magnet wires coming from eBay. It's been shipped already. Like I said, I told you about the audio jacks. Those are all coming from eBay. One of the suppliers was from Kentucky, which they should get here first probably. The other one's in California. Let's see, I think that was it on that stuff. And I have yet outstanding, I have resistors, I have capacitors for the IG-18 coming. I think there was a couple. Oh, I ordered a selection of disc capacitors. I don't have a good selection of disc capacitors. I bought a cheap set from China, and man, are they cheap. They just weren't much to them, and they were the real small, brownish looking. You know, they may be okay for certain things, but I didn't like them that much. Now these are the I think they call them multi-layer, something like that, but they are much heavier, nicer, and they come in a box. I think there was 1,200 capacitors, 20 something values. I can't remember exactly how it was, but I've got that coming, and so it was $13, I think, shipped. It wasn't bad. So got that coming. Something else. I have ordered a lot here lately that I probably shouldn't have ordered, but I did. I told you about the capacitor kit for the Hallicrafters. It's coming. Like I say, I'll think about something else here, and I'll give you an update on that. But I think that's going to do me for now because, you know, what else can you say? I probably about the same level as Bill was today, and I didn't really mean to go that long with listening here, but I was drinking tea and kind of enjoying sitting here just running my mouth. So I watched a lot of Eric O's videos today. I really didn't. I did realize it, but I had forgotten that he has another channel besides his car repair videos. Outdoors with Eric O, I think is what it's called. And it's him and his family, you know, basically doing stuff outside. And kind of nice. You know, he's a good one to watch as far as pleasant video. There's a few people that I like that. Now, he's one of them, and Musty One is one. They have their contents, what they talk about. They're interesting people, to me anyway. You know, they may not be to everybody, but and I could just sit there and watch them. You know, I watched Lucky Larry's video about him going to the hospital and his latest Commodore acquisitions, and so anywho, just trying to keep up. It's a little bit hard with the phone. I think I mentioned that before, that I don't have the MetroNet anymore here. I have just my phone, and use that as a hotspot for my computer, and it works, but it's not the same. I've had to switch all my video watching down to 240p, which is, you know, it's not that bad as long as the connection's good. You know, really you can't really tell a big difference in it, but you'll notice when it changes scenes, it takes a little longer to get back to focus. You know what I'm saying? It's just there's a little bit more delay in it, so I guess I'll survive. As long as I can upload a video every once in a while and watch a few, I'll be okay. But see now how easy it was for me to start talking again. I just well, something comes into my mind, I think, oh, let's talk about that. Oh, my sponge. I was going to stop by Dollar Tree today and get some sponge while we stopped at the local food store on the way home to get stuff for supper and some noodles. I was about out of noodles, and so I was going to get the sponge, and it was kind of cold, nasty. It was snowing, not hard, but it was, you know, flurrying, you know, and so I thought, well, I won't ask Kylie to do that because, you know, so. Anywho, that's what I'm doing, and yeah, I'm still blathering. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful night, day. It's 9:23 now in the evening. By the time I get this all uploaded and edited and changed around and formatted and whatever else I got to do to it, it'll probably be 11 o'clock. I kind of wanted to go to bed again. I early again because I got up a little earlier than I wanted to this morning. But anywho, like I said, I got to pick up Kylie again tomorrow, and that's nice. So I get to see her again. I really kind of missed her. Hadn't seen her. Well, I saw her at Thanksgiving, but last time she'd been here had been a while back. So anywho, that's that. You guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you.